Hello students, welcome to JCE Connect. Subject Engineering Geology 18 CV 36. Before going to the actual syllabus, let us understand first what is mean by geology. So here geology stands for earth and the logy stands for study or science. So geology is the study of earth. So geology is the study of earth. So study of earth includes what? All the theories or how the earth has formed, how it has evolved. The age of the earth is around 4.5 billion years. So how that has formed? What are the theories behind the formation of the earth? Then what is the composition of the earth? What are the different processes happening on the earth? So all these are studied under a branch called geology. So geology is the study, a branch of science which deals with study of earth. So it includes all the features which are existing on the earth, like we have big mountains, oceans, glaciers, ice. Then we have rivers, mountains. So all these different features, plus there how it has formed, okay, what is the history, how it has evolved over a period of time, what are the processes happening on the earth, that all is included under a branch called geology. So geologists go and study the different parts of the world, okay. Like volcanologist we have, like they go there near the volcano and study. So all these are studied under a branch called geology. So you must know what is the age of the earth, that is around 4.5 billion years. So there are many theories which are there about the origin of and the evolution of the solar system and the earth, okay. So there are 9 planets, right? So earth is one of the planet. So starting from the sun, okay, sun is the central star and all the other 9 planets are revolving around the sun in an orbit. So these are there are inner planets and outer planets. So inner planets are Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. You can see in the image there. Here you can see these 4 planets. They are very small in size, okay. So they are called as inner planets. So these inner planets are smaller in size, okay, and they have less number of satellites. They are heavier compared to the outer planets. So these are called as outer planets. So outer planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune and Pluto. So all these planets, they are bigger in size and they have more number of satellites. So they are called as outer. They are lightweight, lighter compared to the inner planets. So they are outer planets. So this is how all the planets they are formed and they are moving around in an orbit around the sun. So there are many theories which are proposed regarding the formation of the earth. Like we have Big Bang theory, okay, that is one of the theory which explains that there was a hot gaseous material, okay, and all the gases started gathering together and they formed the planet. So now let us see what is engineering geology. So why, as a civil engineer, you are going to learn the geology subject. So that is what is called as engineering geology. So here engineering geology is a branch of geology which deals with application of all the knowledge of geology in engineering. So how you are going to apply the knowledge of geology when you are undertaking any civil engineering projects. It may be a dam, it may be a tunnel, it may be a construction of road. Any construction activity when you take up, you first must know what is the geology of that particular area and why it is important. We will see in the upcoming classes. So before starting with the actual syllabus, I would like to give you few examples that how and why it is important. So here you can see everyone knows this Kedarnath, right? So there was a flood 7 years before, right? And whole area was affected by flood. So nobody predicted that there will be flood. Okay, see, you can see here all the, yes, you can see this is the picture before the flood and this is the picture after the flood. So before flood everything was running fine, but here after flood everything was damaged, right? But nothing happened to this temple. Why? Because you can see there is a rock here, right? There is a big rock. So this was constructed long back, right? Maybe in 12th century. So this temple, when they were constructing, they were knowing, they had predicted that the flood might come in this area, and so only they had selected this particular place for construction of the temple, because they were knowing this rock will protect the temple from the flood. So because this rock is a very huge rock and it is deep rooted, so flood also will not affect. So during flood what happened, everything was damaged, but the temple remained as it is. Still the people opened the door, right? Doors of the temple, everything was fine. So not a single drop of water was inside the temple. So this is how the prediction of geology was done. Okay, the flood was done and it saved the temple. One more example is, I think you all know this, the first image, that is the Tower of Pisa. Okay, Leaning Tower of Pisa. So this is slightly, it is not straight, it is not vertical, it is tilted structure. So why it is tilted? Because there was it was constructed on the soft ground. Okay, and the foundation when they were laying, okay, and this is constructed in rock. Okay, this whole structure is constructed in marble. Okay, and when they reached third or fourth floor, they experienced that the foundation, okay, is not strong, because it was constructed on loose sediments. Okay, it could not bear the load, and so it started tilting. Okay, so this is we call one of the wonder. But same we can see in India also, right? This is from India. Okay, somewhere in North India, near Dehradun. Okay, so there also we have a small temple, right, which is say similarly tilted naturally, right, because it was constructed on the loose foundation. So this is how we should pay attention before doing any construction activities. So this is these are the few examples how the geology is important. Okay, so if they were knowing well in advance what is the problem you are going to face, so they would have not constructed such type of structures. Then then geology will give you information regarding the building materials which you use for construction activities, like the different types of rocks. There are three types of rocks: igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, metamorphic rocks. Okay, and different materials like sand, bricks, then crushed aggregates, then you need metals for construction. So all these are coming from the mother earth. Okay, so we must know we must understand what is earth and how we are extracting all these materials from the earth. So geology plays a very important role in case of civil engineering. So there are few theories. Okay, so the nature of the earth has been a focus of study for centuries together, right? So there are few things which we see now. Okay, but they are happened in the past also. Like in here I'm showing you two photographs. Okay, so one is one first photograph, you can see this one on the beaches, right? Whenever the waves come and go, you can find such type of different structures on the sand. And this is one of the picture of mud cracks, right? Whenever the mud dries, it when it is sun dried, okay, when there is no moisture left in the soil, the such type of cracks are formed. So these are called as mud cracks. So these type of structures are preserved in the rocks. Okay, so you can see those. So what is there is a theory called uniformitarianism. So what it tells us is present is the key to the past. Means whatever is happening, okay, whatever we observe in day to day life, that is in present situation, that has happened in the past. So that is the main principle of uniformitarianism. What it says is present is the key to the past. So whatever is we are seeing today, that is in present age, so that has happened in the past. So that is like a key to the past. So this is called as principle of uniformitarianism. So before starting, we'll see how the earth has evolved. Okay, so there are different stages in the planetary evolution. Like first the planetesimals were formed. Planetesimals are nothing but they are the small bodies which are formed from the dust and gases. Okay, they are formed from dust and gases. And next what happened is the formation of protoplanets took place. That is 9 to 10 planets, they are formed from these planetesimals. That is the small bodies of dust and gas, they came together and they formed the planets. They are called as planetesimals in the initial stages. And these planetesimals, that is the planets, they are formed by combining all these protoplanets, that is the small planetesimals, they combined and they formed the planets by combining all the protoplanets, and they swept up by gravitational attraction and they started revolving around the sun in an orbit. So these are the few stages in the planetary evolution. And during the formation, what happened during the initial stages, accretion took place. Like initial accretion took place in the beginning, that is all the metals or elements were haphazard and they started revolving. And as a result, what happened, because of the contraction and differentiation, you can see here the heavier metals like iron and nickel, they started concentrating towards the center, and then the lighter minerals like calcium, magnesium, silica, oxygen, all these, they started accumulating. And finally, in the atmosphere, the gases like helium, hydrogen, okay, all these gases, they are started concentrating. So this is the this happened in the contraction and differentiation. So this is how the planets they formed. So these are the stages in the formation of early earth. Then there are you must know some facts about the earth. That is, in the beginning, okay, when the earth formed in the Triassic age, that is around 250 million years ago. So age of the earth is 4.5 billion year ago the earth has formed. But during 250 million year ago, what happened? There was a theory called continental drift theory. So that came into existence, like all landmass was one, okay, in the initial stage of the formation of earth, all the landmass was one. You can see in the image here, right? So all the landmass is one. That was given name as Pangaea. And later slowly all these continents they split, okay. So first it was splitted into two, that is Gondwana and Laurasia, and slowly they the continent started drifting, and these 7 continents what we see now, they formed. Yes, so here is the Pangaea, that is the one landmass, right? All land was together. Then slowly what happened, it first splitted into two parts, okay. One was Laurasia in the northern side, and towards the southern side, that was a Gondwana land. So it splitted first in the initial stages into two parts, that is Laurasia and Gondwana. That is around 200 million years ago this took place. Then during Jurassic period, what happened, 135 million years ago, the again continents started drifting and drifting. And during Cretaceous also, that is 65 million years ago, almost all the planets all the continents were separated, and this is what we see in the present stage. So the breakup of Pangaea, so it's splitted into 7 continents what we see now, okay. So what has led to drifting of these or breaking of this one landmass into 7 continents? So that there are phenomena which are happening inside the earth, okay. That is, one is seafloor spreading. So what is happening here in the seafloor spreading is, the large continents, okay, they began to crack and they started splitting apart, okay. You can see in the first image, there is a lava at the, here you can see there is a lava, okay, the magma, okay. Magma, it is trying to come out up, okay, and it is moving away from each other. So this is what continental drift started, okay. And what happened, those gaps which are formed, they got filled with water, okay. And later small seas, the small sea were formed and they become ocean, and the mid-oceanic ridges, they continue to produce the new crust. Continuously new crust is started forming, and this is this theory is called as the seafloor spreading. Okay, so there are major plates, okay, plate tectonic theories. So this you can see there the dark lines, okay. Here these lines, they are all the tectonic boundaries, okay. You can see here the Indian plate, okay. There is a tectonic plate which is passing, okay. So here these are the major, there are 7 major tectonic plate boundaries, along which what is happening is there is a continuous there are continuous earthquakes, there is continuous movement below the ground, and that is leading to formation of all these movements which are taking place on the earth. So there are 3 types of movements or 3 types of plate boundaries you can see here: convergent, divergent, and transform plate boundaries are there, which are continuously active below the earth. So what happens in convergent boundary? So the two plates, they move towards one another, that is called as convergent, okay. And divergent means here you in the animation you can see, right? Yes, the two plates, they are coming towards each other, right? So that is called as convergent, okay. And divergent means what happens? The two plates, they move away from each other. The two plates, they move away from each other. And one more is called as transform plate boundaries, where the plate moves, they just slide away from each other. So that is the transform boundaries. So these plates, they are moving in any direction, they cause earthquake. So it may be convergent, it may be divergent, or it may be a transform, okay. So a movement, any movement that will cause earthquakes, and the worst are caused by plates rubbing past each other, as in the image C. That is these type of transform for boundaries, they are very dangerous, okay. They are worst, which cause earthquakes of bigger magnitudes. So this is what happens below the earth, and that is why we need to study the earth in detail. So you might have understood now what is the need, or how the earth has formed, okay. Then here I would like to tell one more important point, that is about our country, that is India, right? So before formation of the Himalayan mountains, which we see right in the North India, right? So here there are mountains, okay. How these mountains have formed? So there are two plates, one is called as Eurasian plate, and this is the Indian plate. So this is continuously in motion. Even today it is moving at a very small rate, around 0.45 mm per year. So that is the rate of movement of the Indian plate now, present situation, okay. So what has happened in the past is, so there was a sea here before. So India was here, you can see the position of India, right? And there was a sea in between this Eurasian plate and the Indian plate, okay. So that sea was called as Tethys Sea. And as the Indian plate started moving towards the north, there was a collision of these two plates, that is the Eurasian plate and the Indian plate. They collided together, and the formation of Himalayan mountains took place. That is, you can see here formation of mountain range because of the two plates colliding each other. There was a formation of mountain, that is what we see now is Himalayan mountains. So earlier there was a sea there, and now that there is no sea, because the sea, because of the collision of two plates, it is no more. Okay, it has converted into mountains, that is Himalayan mountains. So convergent plate boundaries. Okay, so earth is a dynamic in nature, that is you can call it as a dynamo. That is why we see the earth's magnetic field is there, right? So only we are all on the earth, right? Because of the magnetic energy, right? Electromagnetic property of the earth. Okay. That is the, at the center there is a core, okay, which is a solid iron ball. Okay, and that is why the currents are circulating the heat. Okay, so earth, we call it as a dynamo. Okay, so there are volcanic activities which are taking place on the earth, right? So this is how the lava, the river of lava, you can see the magma which comes on the surface and flows, that we call it as lava. Okay, so this is the river of lava. So it creates also and it destroys also, right? It creates the new land, okay, new rocks it is forming. Okay, and it will destroy the existing structure. So this is a volcanic cone. So this is a brief idea about the subject, how it is important. This is all general things I told you today, that is how the earth has formed, how what has happened over a period of time, and how it is important for a civil engineer, that we are going to discuss in the upcoming classes. Thank you.